Good evening, this is Kuro. Got a Tier 9 game in my Tier 8 Z35. Going over the matchmaking threats to my ship would be the enemy Lexington, the Seattle, Alaska, maybe the Neptune with radar, Kidd and Moss rounding out the destroyer threats and the radar threats to my ship. The map's Land of Fire, 3-cap domination, and gonna kick this one off. I have probably my least favorite spawn on this map for a destroyer, basically center of the map, and just gonna have to try to pick a side. And what I'm kind of thinking of doing is just kind of easing my way up here to B cap, seeing what I can spot, maybe get B cap if I don't really see anything, sniffing around here. If I can sneak it, I'll take it, and then decide which cap I want to reinforce, and I'm probably leaning towards A cap because we already have a DD over here, even though he seems like he's AFK right now. Enemy Lexington's coming up. Just gonna play chill here, see where the CV's going. My CV drop fighter is kind of blocking his path, so just want to see if the CV is gonna go C side. If he is, I'm gonna keep scooching up to B cap because the CV's distracted. Again, this is taking advantage of the windows of opportunity that you might see. The CV, at a certain point has committed to a flank. It's not like he's going to fly down here, F to recall his planes, and then relaunch another attack to come right back here to B cap. That's highly unlikely. He's going to try to get a strike off of some sort with, his investment of time all the way down here. So, it's something that people talk about. Yeah, the planes can fly across the map quite quickly, and that's true, but at a certain point they get committed elsewhere on a map, and that extends the period of time that you have from that moment in time, just from the enemy CV directly to you. You end up with the attack time from the moment that they're committing somewhere other than where you're at, to the moment that they recall and bring out a new strike and potentially bring it your way. Now, basically, again, just spotting up here, was thinking that there might be a DD, heading this way. It looks like there is a Moss out here. That's good news for me because I do outspot the Moss. Lexington does make it back this way. Popping my hydro, just want to make sure I stay torpedo safe. The really handy thing with this destroyer, and what I really love about it, is the smokes on this. This is it's very selfish smoke, like the Royal Navy destroyer smokes. They're very short duration, but you start out with just a ton of smokes, and you can just keep laying these out as you need them throughout the game. And that's something that I really love about this destroyer, especially now since the destroyer guns have 32 millimeters of pen. It just makes this a really nice gunboat. And if Wargaming was looking to buff the German destroyer lines, particularly, for example, hey, Z23, that ship's been begging for buffs for well over probably a couple years now. Changing the smoke system to these guys would be pretty solid. So I do end up picking up B cap, and I am going to end up rotating out here to A. We did just lose a battleship that for some reason kept pushing right through the cap and just got overextended. I do have a couple enemy battleships pushing here. Notice I already have smoke available, and I'm just gonna use it. And I don't have perfect vision out here, but I know these battleships are gonna be shooting, so I'm planning on being able to keep them spotted in the smoke somehow. Got a fire on the Florida, trying to get a fire on this Tirpitz. Tirpitz is turning into me, and that makes me think that he could be rushing this Atlanta and I want to try to take advantage of this situation if that's what he's doing. You'll notice my smoke's already starting to wear out. Really quick duration smokes, but you've got them typically when you need them. I'm gonna go dark here, and one of the different things about this destroyer, only 6-kilometer torpedoes, but that's not the end of the world. I have 6.2 kilometer concealment, so people may think you can't really torp from stealth, but look, I'm 6.9 here. This battleship's pushing into me. It's a Tirpitz, it's a fast battleship. He's gonna push well into my torpedo range. I'm skirting around this Tirpitz with, 300 meters to spare. So yes, it's tight, but yes, you can torp from concealment, and these torpedoes are pretty good. Where these torpedoes definitely shine is clearing out smoke screens, stuff like that, and basically setting up a battlefield, fighting enemy DDs, things like that. This destroyer could be really nice with that. So scratch one Tirpitz. I've got a Neptune and the Florida back over here on ACAP. If you look at the mini map, we're kind of in a pinch. We're already, 2 ships down, and this is getting kind of sketchy already. So I know I'm gonna have to really start ramping up the aggression, try to get some damage out if we're gonna try to carry this. Getting some good luck with my fire chance here. This Florida is going to correctly burn his damage control on a double fire. I'm going to set up a follow-up torpedo run, see if I can't catch this Florida. But it looks like he's slowing down, and unlike the Tirpitz, if he slows down and stops, I'm not going to be able to torp him because my torpedo range is just much it's just shorter than my concealment range. Again, using another smoke right here. I do get an unrepairable fire on him on the forward part of his superstructure. Really trying to dial in here, get that second fire on the back portion of his superstructure. You can see those torps coming in there with a big gap, but at the end of the day, these torps, they're not going to have the range. You can see they stop just short. Hang in here, just hoping that this Florida is going to make the mistake and he's going to shoot. I do have my smoke screen wearing off, and you can see, yes, he does take a shot. Now he is pushing in to this island, and that's going to create another move for me. Now I'm going to make my first mistake here, and it's a common mistake for me. I play too aggressive. Particularly when I'm in a rush to try to help my team get damage out. If you look, we're now 3 ships down. We're about to be 3 caps behind, and definitely my "you need to go right now" button it's just being slammed in my head right now. This Florida's pushing right up. I'm really not going to waste too much time around here. I'm going to kind of wait to see if he's going to run into the island. He's popping a plane. That's unfortunate because he will spot me with the plane. But I'm just going to go for it. Now I make the mistake. I should just smoke here. And if I smoke, I'm just outside proxy distance, and these torpedoes will kill him. This is the mistake right here. I shoot. He does detect me. He does get a shot off, and it does cost me a bit of damage here. And that's going to be unfortunate because I would really love to have this HP back in the later parts of the game. So in my haste to try to get this guy out of my way, I should have just let the torpedoes do the work, and instead got impatient, and that impatience will always cost you as a destroyer player. You need to be patient, and it's something that I struggle with all the time as a player. I've got a Neptune that's holding down ACAP. Again, not going to waste any time here. I would have liked to have Hydro here, but I wanted to use the Hydro to make sure that I could keep that battleship spotted around that island. But regardless, we're going to lose this game if I don't do something here. So I'm going to push right into this Neptune and just rely on the fact that, you know, Neptunes can only shoot AP. I think the Neptune is most likely alone right now. So I'm just going to dig him out and just present an angle where he's not really going to be able to get a lot of penetration damage on me, and I'm hoping that my North Carolina or my Neptune will be able to dig this guy out. CV does get a quick spot on the Neptune. That gives me an idea where he's at. He's behind the smoke screen. You can see he's angled, so I got to switch back. That smoke screen wears off, so it's pretty much just go time. Let's get it on. I do spot the torpedoes for the North Carolina. Bounced his back guns right there. Here comes a full volley. He's whiffing. That tells me, you know, this is definitely a good angle for me. And you can tell how little damage I'm taking. You can hear the ricochets. Now I smoke here. See, he might have hydro up. Regardless, I'm inside his smoke firing range. So as long as he shoots at me, I'm going to be able to keep him spotted. He does have hydro available. I'm just going to keep staying angled, keep using my front guns, keep trying to deal out the damage I can, and just, you know, try to avoid, you know, taking a bunch of major damage while my support ships, you know, clear this this Neptune out of my way. So didn't really lose a lot of HP in that engagement, so that went really well for us. I do have my hydro available. I will have my smoke available in 26 seconds. So we're going to be rushing to BCAP, and I'm figuring we're going to be picking a fight with the the Kid and the Moss. And unfortunately, the Kid has full HP, plus he's got repair party. He has quite a bit of HP advantage on me. However, he's not running survivability expert, so he's only, you know, less than 7k ahead of me right now, not factoring in his repair. So, gonna use a little bit of team play here. I know that that Kid was pushing back into BCAP. That has, I just launched torpedoes all over it. So I'm doing some counting in my head. Gonna pop the hydro and try to make sure that number one, I don't eat torpedoes, but number two, make sure that my North Carolina has as much notice as possible to avoid eating torpedoes. The Kid thankfully has taken a big hit from my North Carolina. He's down to under 12k. And we're just going to push in here. We have equaled the ships now. My Azumo and my Donskoy is doing God's work. And I've got a good pushing force here with me with the North Carolina and the Neptune. My Lexington is being smart. He's headed for safety. So things are looking good for us right now in the late middle, early late game for us. We are going to lose this Azumo here. I'm not going to wait around. I'm going to start jumping my guns into this fight. Now, I'll say I believe has popped his engine boost. This dude is hauling butt right now. I am burning my last smoke screen here. Want to try to keep that Lexington off me, particularly because I'm traveling, you know, at a slow speed, and that I'm broadside to him, so he could do a lot of damage if I hadn't used that smoke to protect me right here. Now notice when I smoked up, I didn't stay in the smoke. I actually accelerated and pulled that smoke forward, anticipating that he was going to drop that smoke where I was last spotted. Never want to stay in your, you know, the last known location of your smoke. You want to make that smoke screen spread out a bit, and you really want to make these guys try to predict where you're going to be rather than just shoot it where they knew that you were. Unfortunately, these smokes, they wear off fast too, so not really able to you know, continue to capitalize on that smoke screen right here. But we did about 10k to the Alsace. Unfortunately, didn't get any fires or anything like that. So I'm just going to take a position right here. I can't really push out here and have this Alsace shoot at me. So going to let my supporting ships work this guy over right now. Shots from the Donskoy are hitting pretty hard right now. More shots coming in. And that's going to be it for the Alsace. Now I'm going to just barely peek out here. I do spot the kid torpedoes. Now I see the Alaska on the other side of the island, and I see my North Carolina committing to a fight. I'm not really wild about it because we've got a Seattle, we've got an Alaska, we've got a kid out there. We do see the Moss is actually behind us now. If you had looked, I had looked at this guy. He was low HP. He's not going to catch our Lexington and our Neptune's going back, but this means that our North Carolina's left to face all these guys. So I'm going to jump in here with my guns and see if I can't, you know, try to help out my Alaska. I'm not wild about this kid, but the kid's shooting my North Carolina, so I'm just going to keep working on their Alaska, keep the island between me and the Seattle, and just try to get this Alaska down as quick as possible. This is really where my HE pen is coming in. You can see just nice constant damage on this Alaska. And I did make a mistake here, not angling to these planes, and boom, you can see the second mistake. This was my most grievous mistake. You cannot, you know, ignore the rocket planes. You have to angle to them. You know, and I was just a little bit too open, and really paid for it. Here I see the kid coming in. Didn't think that the kid was going to try to make a YOLO torp run, but that's exactly what he's doing. Now this kid messes this up because what he should be doing, he should be shooting at me and let his torpedoes do the job on the North Carolina. If he did this, he wins the game. But because he's ignoring me right now, I'm gonna chew off enough of him that by the time we actually get around to fighting, it's gonna be far more on an equal level than what this kid would like. And the kid ends up going down. And now it's just dodge the CV's time. Now, dive bombers coming in. You want to be perpendicular to where the dive bombers are gonna be. So you can see he's trying to come up behind me and drop my ship. I just keep turning in. Want to make his reticle like this. So he misses me. Good. He doesn't have enough planes for a re-engagement. Good. So he's going to be bringing another set of planes out. And that's, you know, that's going to be, you know, something I got to deal with. My Neptune is chasing. That's not good. The Neptune should be coming towards me to help with AA. The CV should be dropping fighters on me. That's not happening, but that's also just typical random stuff. I turn back in because this is actually worth... Whoop, I broke it. Ugh, forgot I'm not on a replay. So I turned back in instead of trying to run away. This is a critical decision because when you're running away, the planes have the longest amount of reaction time. He will be able to hit you when you're running away on the initial pass. What I'm looking to do here is I'm looking to get inside the arming distance of his rockets. So he's got to miss me the first time, and that's going to buy me additional time. And I'm just going to have to try to stay angled, try to mitigate the damage the best I can. So I know he's not going to be able to hit me here. So I'm not fully going to angle into him right now. What I'm looking at is the rocket planes as they're going to be coming back. So shutting my AA off, want to minimize the amount of distance that this guy can get, and I'm trying to change my course from where I was last predicted. You see, he thinks that I'm still headed this way. He actually spots me. He's got to readjust back over, but you see the change in time. He's actually able to arm an attack and get it off on me. But by angling away, you see how much less damage that I take. So I do have another attack that I need to dodge. I've got shots from the Seattle coming in. Again, just gonna angle right back at this Lexington. But because I keep steering into the plane's path as he flies at me or flies around to strike me, I'm throwing off his arming time. He's not able really to effectively arm an attack and get a well-aimed attack off on me. And that's something that, inexperienced CV players may not account for. If a destroyer has the room, they can chase your planes and force you to make a much bigger circle further out than you otherwise would think that you need to. And by making that move there, I was able to basically squeak by, and I don't think he got a fully aimed drop off on me with the second volley, and that helped really eliminate any damage coming in. So you can see a lot of gunplay here. That's going to be the bread and butter with the ship. The smoke screens, it's a really nice combo with this ship, with the guns, the smoke, the HE pen. You don't have the really usable torps that you have with the rest of the German line, but the 6 kilometers, they're good enough that you can fight DDs in the cap with. And if you get a clear shot at a ship pushing you, you can torp from stealth still with this ship. Otherwise, you're using those torpedoes to basically make sure nothing's going to rush you in your smoke, and that's also where that hydro is going to be really effective. This would be a really dangerous ship to try to rush down in a smoke. If you're not in a radar ship or a ship that has, an extended range hydro. But anyway, this is Z35. I think it's a hoot and a half. Concerns with the ship: it's going to sync really well with your German destroyer captains that are your 128 millimeters. So Gaeta Z23 captains, if you like to run the 150s, those aren't captains that I would really consider putting on this ship, especially because you're not going to run BFT. You can't really run BFT with 150s. You're probably going to be running more of a torpedo build on those ships, and that's gonna, you're not really going to get that much out of this ship running it with a torpedo spec. You definitely want to run a full gun spec. I'll include my build that I used below in the video description. Also, links to my community Discord and my Patreon will be in the video description below. If you guys have any questions or comments, let me know. Hope you're having a good night, and I will talk to you later.